Is there ऐसा कर लो
तो अभी वहीं क्योंकि
अगस्त में तो वही है अगस्त में वो रिट्रीट
अगस्त में रिट्रीट है हांगकांग में है रिट्रीट
वही है
सिंगापुर में
is the Singapore's disciples the retreat is there only in Ratnamani, not Ratnamani but the monastery actually.
It's 300 kilometers from Bangkok.
Yeah, 7 kilometers from Bangkok.
Is Ratnamani?
Yeah.
I thought it is towards Singapore.
So it's the Singaporeans who have organized my country.
Okay. Here is fourth sutta, third chapter, Sundarika Bhardwaj Sutta. So Sundarika is the name of the river. Sundarik is the name of the river, so he has been called Sundarik Bhardwaj. The commentaries mentions that Buddha in the morning used to see, in his after morning meditation, used to see who is the recipient of Dharma today. So he saw one day that this person is now ready to become an Arahant. So went there, created a situation so that he should come to him, and then gave him advice. It's quite an interesting one. It's big, so we read now.
एकम समयं भगवा कोसलेषु विहरति सुंदरी काय नदिया तीरे। ट्रांसलेशन पंजाबी संस्कृत में नदिया तीरे।
साफ है ना, क्लियर है?
हाँ,
बता दो।
तो एक समय हमने सुना, आनंद बोल रहा है, एक समय भगवान
कौशल प्रदेश
में विहर कर रहे थे और सुंदरी काय नदी के किनारे तेन कोपन समयेन सुंदरीक भारद्वाजो ब्राह्मणो सुंदरी काय नदिया तीरे अग्निम जुगति अग्निरुक्तम परिचय।
उसका भी
तेन कोपन
at that time
समय सुंदरी भारद्वाज नाम का ब्राह्मण सुंदरी नदी के किनारे अग्नि मतलब आया,
अग्नि,
अच्छा,
अग्नि जो ये थी, अग्नि की
पूजा कर रहा
ऑफरिंग्स कर रहा था, अग्निहोत्रम परिचारक है और उसकी पूजा कर रहा था, वर्शिपिंग द फायर, यज्ञ करते हैं ना। ये पैराग्राफ पढ़ी हुई।
अथ को सुंदरीक भारद्वाजो ब्राह्मणो अग्निम जुहित्वा अग्निहोत्रम परिचित्वा,
त्वा का मतलब था करके,
परिचित्वा
मतलब अथ को दैट सुंदरीक भारद्वाज मतलब दैट वन ब्राह्मण ने अग्निम जुहित्वा ऑफरिंग्स करके वर्शिप करने के बाद क्या किया,
उठाया
आसन अपने आसन से उठा,
समन्ता चतुर्दिशा
चारों तरफ, समंदर और चारों तरफ, चतुर्दिशा चारों दिशाओं में अन्य भी लोग ऐसी देखा, खड़े होकर चारों दिशाओं में देखा। क्या उसके मन में प्रश्न क्या था?
कौन को इमम अव्ययसेयम
शेषम
विशेषम
शेष
पुण्यजेयाति।
तो जो यज्ञ के जो बच जाते हैं ना, वो किसी को ब्राह्मण को दिए जाते हैं ना, तो
आज किसको?
हाँ, कि इस अव्यशेष को, इस जो बचा हुआ है, मतलब वो कहते हैं कि यज्ञ के कुछ भी क्या ट्रांसलेशन किया हुआ दी रिमेनिंग ऑब्लेशन जो था किसको दिया जाए, whom should I give it, who should enjoy the remaining oblation, जो बच गई ना उसमें।
अच्छा
अदस्सा having seen, दश होता है ना देखना, अदस्सा मतलब having seen।
अदस्सा को सुंदरीक भारद्वाजो ब्राह्मणों भगवंतम अभिदूरे
में ज्यादा दूर नहीं है,
अन्यंतरस्मिन् रुक्खमूले ससीसम पारुतम सीननम।
तो उन्होंने उसने क्या देखा, आगे पढ़ी ट्रांसलेशन, सुंदरी भारद्वाज ने
अभी दूरे
में ज्यादा दूर नहीं थे, नॉट फॉर आउट, एक जगह पे रुक्ख मूले पेड़ के फूट पे शीशम तो सारे सिर के ऊपर ढके हुए, पारुता मतलब ढके हुए, जिसे नाम बैठे हुए थे, मतलब अपना चीवर से सारा शरीर ढका हुआ था, वहाँ बैठे हुए, इसमें देखा कि वहाँ बैठे हुए
स्वान पामी हथीन हव्य शेषम
स्टॉप कर लेना। तो जिस्वान मतलब देखकर, वामेन मतलब बाएं, वाम हाथ है, बाएं हाथ से, हथेन बाएं हाथ से, हव्य शेषम जो शेष बचा था ऑफरिंग, गहेत्वा उसको पकड़कर, दक्षिणेन हथेन राइट हैंड में, कमंडल गहेत्वा कमंडल लेके, तो पानी का कमंडल लेके, ये न भगवा तेन उपसंतम, तो जहाँ भगवान थे उनके पास थे। चलो देखो नेक्स्ट।
So he's physically seeing
वो मतलब यज्ञ करके नदी के किनारे थे ना, तो वो भी वहीं पर थे एक पेड़ के नीचे। He had reached that, he had gone to that river, but he had covered his whole body. You will see why he had covered it.
Covered with what?
जो चीवर होता है उसे सारा शरीर ढका हुआ था, भगवान बुद्ध ने ढक के रखा हुआ था। लेकिन
अथ को भगवा
सुंदरी का
भारद्वाजस्य ब्राह्मणस्य
पादसद्देन, पादसद्देन मतलब पाँव का शब्द, पादसद्देन शीशम विवरी मतलब उसको अनकवर किया। तो ऑन हियरिंग दी फुटस्टेप्स ऑफ सुंदरी भारद्वाज, भगवान ने अपने सिर से कपड़ा जो था, चीवर जो था, हटा लिया।
अथो सुंदरी का भारद्वाजो ब्राह्मणों,
तो फिर सुंदरी ब्राह्मण के मन में ये आया, अरे ये क्या होगा,
मुंडो आयम भवम मुंडको आयम भवम,
तो ये तो सिर मुंडा हुआ बंदा है। This man is shaved, this man is a shaveling, ये तो वो है।
So there a connotation attached to shaved head?
There is a connotation ना कि ये सब लोग श्रमण हैं, ये तो ब्राह्मण नहीं है, ये फालतू के लोग हैं, they are useless people। वो जो सिर मुड़ा के श्रमण बन जाते थे ना, so there was a Brahmins that had despised them, ये लोग तो ब्राह्मण नहीं है, ये लोग तो
श्रवण
मतलब जो श्रम के मार्ग पे चलते हैं। So they had a disrespect for monks of the Buddhist order. Generally, the Brahmins do not have high opinion of them. ये लोग तो because of various reasons, ब्राह्मणों को भ्रष्ट कर रहे हैं, धर्म भ्रष्ट कर रहे हैं, अशुद्धों को ले रहे हैं, all those kind of reasons. Brahman didn't like. Originally they didn't like, but then if some of them came in close contact, and then they would understand that he is a great teacher and then become disciples. So that's how slowly the Buddha's teaching spread. So this is also another instance of that kind. ये सुंदरी भारद्वाज उनको देखते कहता रहे तो मुंडा कह रहे, and this continued right till Adi Shankaracharya, with the contempt for monks.
इसके बाद तो बचे ही नहीं। इसके बाद बचे ही नहीं।
हाँ
But that's what I don't follow. Monks could have been of any sort, including the ascetic ones, etc., etc.
हाँ.
So, is this specific reference to the Buddha and his followers, or to
any or monks?
I don't understand this Brahman or monks की schism कहाँ से और कब हुई? Set aside Buddha business.
हाँ, because the Brahmins thought that these people they kind of repudiate Vedas. The Buddha had, the Jains did not do it so obviously. They believed in soul. भगवान तो कुछ भी विश्वास नहीं करते थे. So they thought they, and not only they thought, but the Lord did repudiate the Vedic sacrifices and everything. So इसलिए वो they didn't hold Buddhist monks especially in high esteem. They held it in low esteem. They used to deride them. So Brahmanas' behavior towards monks is well recorded in historically and even in these discourses. वो भी आता है ना जो काशी भारद्वाज था, वो क्या था, कौशिका भारद्वाज जो डंडे लेके जाता है हुआ तो मारने के लिए. So many such instances. So because they thought that he is repudiating their tradition. He doesn't care कि ब्राह्मण है कि कास्ट नहीं केयर करते. That was the main problem. छूतों को भी अपने साथ monk बना लेते हैं. Doesn't bother. He says castes are not good. They had a very strong antipathy towards the Buddhist monks. Same thing is reflected here. They are ascetic निकला. तो पुनः निवृत्ति काम अहोसी. निवृत्ति काम मतलब उसका मन किया कि मैं वापस से चला जाता हूँ, इसको क्या देना. So then he wished to return there and then. तो फिर उसको ख्याल आया अथको सुंदरी भारद्वाजो ब्राह्मण से एतद होसी. Then he thought मुंडापि ही द्विकेचे ब्राह्मणा भवन्तु. सोचता है मुंडा ब्राह्मण ही हो यार, चलो इससे काम चल जाएगा. यमुना हम उपसंकमित्वा जातिम पुच्छे है, तो क्यों ना मैं उसके पास जाके उसे पूछूं तेरी जात क्या है. See the stronghold of caste. अथको सुंदरी भारद्वाजो ब्राह्मणो येन भगवा तेन उपसंकम. Then he went there where the Lord उपसंकमित्वा भगवन्तं एतद् वोचा. And then he asked the Lord, किम जच्चो भवन्ति, किस जात के हो तुम बताओ. Then next.
अथको भगवा सुंदरीका भारद्वाजम ब्राह्मणम
आराम से
अज्भासी. सो इस तरह से उन्होंने
अज्भासी में spoke this.
ये
गाथा है. गाथा ही मतलब in verses. गाथा होती है ना वर्सेस. सो सुंदरी ब्राह्मण ने भगवान से वर्सेस में the Lord answered, the Lord answered Sundari Bharadwaj in stanzas.
Na brahmano nomhi na rajputto. So I am not
Brahman.
I am not Brahman. I am not Rajput.
I am not a king's son. Which means
That's
Rajputto.
That's the lie.
Yeah, the Buddha is not anybody's son. Siddhartha was king's son.
Okay.
And his father, when he went and his father told him, क्या कर रहे हो, हमारे कुल का सत्यानाश कर दिया, हमारे कुल के लोग भीख मांगते हैं क्या? कौन सा कुल है? मेरा कुल में तो ये परंपरा है. ना वैश्यानो, वैश्य भी नहीं हूँ, मर्चेंट भी नहीं हूँ, ना ही कुछ और.
उत्तम परिण्या उत्तजन्नम अकिंचनो मंता
चरोमि लोके.
चरामि लोके.
गोत्र की परिण्या जानते हुए उत्थु जना जो वर्ल्डली पीपल हैं उनके गोत्र की बात ठीक से समझ गया हूँ. परिण्या अकिंचो मंता में चरामि लोके. एंड आई wander about the world, reflecting about it, possessing nothing. Kinchan chalta हूँ.
Attention is what?
Kinchan means जिसका पास कुछ भी नहीं. One who has nothing, possessing nothing.
सर इसलिए वो एक ऐसा कुछ है ना कि यशोधरा राहुल को बेचती है भगवान के पास में अपनी लेगेसी के लिए.
जी.
तो क्योंकि उन्होंने एक ये कुल छोड़ के मतलब ये जो सिद्धार्थ वाला ये इसलिए बेचती है.
वो तो for that small child he is the father. Physically the fact है ना. Biologically तो वो fact है ही है ना. That you cannot deny. And what that child says to father, you remember? Says मुंडको उसको भी कहता है क्या? मुंडको Brahman, Shivan had one. Your shadow is very peaceful. He goes near him. He says, your shadow is very peaceful. And he says, my mother has said,
Give me
my inheritance. So he doesn't say anything and walks far. He keeps on repeating. And next time.
संघातवासी अगाहो चरामी निवृत्त केसो अभिनिवृत्तो अलिप मानो इद मानवेहि अकल्लम मम ब्राह्मण उच्छसी गोत्पन्नम.
स्टेशन कर दो. संघाटी होता ना जो उनकी ड्रेस होती है, आउटर ड्रेस. संघाटी वासी में संघाटी पहनता हूँ. चरामी चलता हूँ. निवृत्त केशो, केश जो है मैंने निवृत्त कर दिए, काट दिए हैं. अभिनिवृत्तो, टोटली काम. और you can say experience निब्बाना, अलिप्त मानो, नॉट लिप्त नहीं होता. इधर मानवे ही, यहाँ के जो लोग हैं उनके साथ में लिप्त नहीं होता. डोंट मिक्स विद देम. अकल्लम मम ब्राह्मणा पुच्छासि गोत्रपान. ये जो तुम्हारा सवाल है ना, irrelevant. इससे कोई मतलब नहीं. तो ब्राह्मणा, your question about my caste is irrelevant. So सुंदरी भागवत कहता है इनका क्या करना. Then he says, उच्छन्ति वेवो ब्राह्मणा ब्राह्मणे भी सह ब्राह्मणो नो भवन्ति. सर ब्राह्मण जब आपस में मिलते हैं तो एक दूसरे से पूछते हैं कि तुम ब्राह्मण हो कि नहीं हो. What does he replies? ब्राह्मणो हि चेत्वं ब्रूसि मंच ब्रूसि ब्राह्मणं तम तम सावित्यं पुच्छामि तिप्पदं चतुर्विंशतकम्. He says a question which you will be surprised. The Lord says him, if you say Brahman हूँ मैं, if I am a Brahman or a Brahman or not a Brahman, then I ask you, Savityam Puchchami, about the Savitri mantra, means Gayatri mantra I am asking you, of जिसके 3 पद हैं, and चतुर्विंशतकम् जिसमें 24 syllables हैं. I ask you about that. So उसमें ये सब बातें नहीं है. गायत्री मंत्र की बात कर रहे हैं, वेदों की. There are number of, इसमें मैंने पढ़ा बाद में, there are number of discourses of Buddha where he has praised Gayatri mantra as a exposition of good aspiration. I want to get enlightened. He interprets in that sense. So Savitri जो है उसमें आता है tat savitur, it means Savitri. That's why it's also called Savitri. So then again Sundari Bhardava insists, Kim nisita aisayo manuja khatiya brahmana devatana yanyam kappo yunsu kuchu idaloku. अगर ऐसा ही है तो for what reason the rishis and human beings and kshatri and brahmans make so many offerings to the gods in this world? That is the essence of it.
What is it? Savitri mantra.
समझ गया. सावित्री में क्या है इससे?
वो उनको यहाँ पे डिटेल एक्सपोजिशन नहीं है ना. The way I could reflect उसमें नहीं था कमेंट्री में. Because if you see Savitri mantra, Om Bhurva Swaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayam. Illuminate my wisdom so that I become filled with the light. वहां पे ब्राह्मण कहाँ गए? इसमें तो ये नहीं कहा कि ये ब्राह्मणों के लिए ही है। अब वो सुंदरी भारद्वाज कंफ्यूज हो रहा है कि अगर ऐसा ही था तो ये सब ऋषि मुनि ये सब ऑफरिंग्स क्यों करते हैं खुदा ईश्वर को? Why do they do offerings if that is the issue?
Offerings to Brahmins.
Yeah. Why do they do offerings to the gods? To the वो जो कहा जाता है ना कि we are offering to the gods and the remaining offering to the Brahmins. So then the Buddha, doesn't dispute it, but he interprets it in a different manner. It doesn't say that offering Brahmins is bad. This is who is a Brahman. Yedantu gu vedagu yanya kale yassa hutim labhe tase jehe digu. Says if the person who receives the offering is perfect in understanding, fulfilled and accomplished, then I would say offering is successful. It will have its own. कहना कि खुदा वो देवताओं को देते हैं तो वो कहते हैं तुमको सक्सेस मिलेगी, कहते ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, सक्सेस ऐसे मिलेगी. So his teaching, his transformation is being done. Next.
अद्धाहि तस्य पुतमिज्झि यम तादिसं वेद गुम दसाम तुम्हा दिशाननी अदिस्सनीन अन्यो जनो पुण्य जाति पूर लासा अद्धाहि तस्य पुतमिज्झि
किसी ब्राह्मण को मतलब है ब्राह्मण बोल रहे हैं. उत्तम इज्जे मतलब उसको सक्सेसफुल होना चाहिए.
अरे कौन कह रहा था?
ये लिखा है ना ब्रैकेट में, यदि ब्राह्मण हो, ब्राह्मण बोल रहे हैं. Surely this offering will bear fruit. भाई अब उसको लगा ना कि सामने बैठा वाला समझदार आदमी है कोई. यम तादिसम वेद गु मद दस्समा, क्योंकि मैंने अपने मेरे सामने एक अकम्प्लिश्ड आदमी बैठा है.
वेद गु मतलब उसको
वेद गु मतलब हाँ, वो इंटरप्रेट करते हैं उस सेंस में भी कि जो वेदों में अकम्प्लिश्ड है, मतलब वेद का मतलब नॉलेज भी है ना, अकम्प्लिश्ड इन विजडम. तुम्हादिस्सन ही अद्दसेन अन्यो जनो भुंजति पुरलस. और इफ आई हैड नॉट सीन यू तो मैंने किसी और को दे दिया होता. ये जो केक था, ट्रांसलेशन केक कर दिया, sacrificial cake. This you would have given to somebody else, but seeing a person, accomplished person like me, my offering will certainly be fruit. उसको यही चिंता है कि
इसका मिले वो,
उसको मेरा फ्रूट मिलना चाहिए ना, अपना यज्ञ किया तो उसका फ्रूट मिलना चाहिए.
तस्मात्या त्वं ब्राह्मणा अचेन अतिकु उपासंकमा उच्च संतं विद्युमान अनिगम निरासं अभिविधा अभिविथे.
So totally changes the interaction. It says तस्मात् ही त्वं ब्राह्मणा अध्ययन. तुम यहाँ पे किसी अर्थ से आए थे, किसी मीनिंग, किसी पर्पस के लिए आए थे. अर्थी को उपसंकमा पुच्छा, तुम मुझसे कुछ पूछने आए थे, तो why don't you ask better things? संतम विधूमम अनिघम निरासम. Perhaps you might find here some understanding which is Vidhumam, which is absolutely clear, Anigham, which is free from anger, Nirasam, which is free from any support, Appavedha, Avidinde Sumedam, which gives you clear understanding and is free from any desire. So you get that kind of understanding, so why don't you ask that?
rather
than bothering about all these things.
यन्ने रहुक्तम भोगोतमा यन्यम वित्त कामो नाहम पजानामि अनुशासतु मम भुवम यत्तहुतम उच्यते ब्रूहिमुतम।
तो वही अपनी तो प्रॉब्लम इसकी वही चली हुई है ना। यज्ञ रतो हम, मतलब यज्ञ करना मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
Also this guy is speaking again.
हाँ, रतो मतलब मैं मुझे अच्छा लगता है। वो गौतमा आई लाइक डूइंग ऑफरिंग्स। यज्ञम यत्थि कामो नाहम पजानामि। I desire to make more offerings of that kind.
Gautama, how he knows his name now?
हाँ, must have recognized it. अनुशासितु मम भवम। So मुझे जरा समझा दो, अनुशासित करो। Please explain to me, what instruct me, यथाहुतम इज्जते ब्रूहि में, जिससे कि मेरी ऑफरिंग सक्सेसफुल हो जाए।
अच्छा, वो वहीं अटका हुआ है।
तो मुझे ऑफरिंग बहुत अच्छी लगती है करनी, तो मुझे इतना बता दो कि ऑफरिंग सक्सेसफुल किस तरह होगी, मुझे ठीक से समझा। So then he uses that as an opportunity.
So now the discussion around caste etc. is passing.
Yeah, now it has come to making the offering successful. तेन ही त्वं ब्राह्मणा ओदहस्सु सोतम। So Brahmana, listen carefully. Dhammam te desasami. I will teach you the Dhamma. And see the beautiful quote.
माँ जाति कुक्षी चरणच कुक्षी।
क्या इसका मतलब है? पावरफुल कोटेशन है, which is used very much. माँ जातिम कुक्षी, किसी की जाति मत पूछो। चरणम च कुक्षी, उसका आचरण पूछो। कट्ठा अवे यति जात वेदो। जो लकड़ी है वो आग के लिए इस्तेमाल होती है, इसकी कास्ट में पूछी जाती है।
नीचा कुलीनी मोती मुनि दितिला आजानियो होती हीरी निषेधो।
मुनि अगर नीच कुल में भी पैदा होता है, but he is धृतिमान, he is firm, अजानियो होती हीरी निषेधो, and if he has moral restraint, through his moral firmness he becomes a moral person, even if he is born in low caste. सच्चेन दंतो दमसा उपेतो वेदांत भूषिता ब्रह्मचर्यो कालेन तम ही हव्यम पवेच्छ यो ब्राह्मणो पुण्य पेखो यजे। सच्चेन दंतो, जो सत्य से सबड्यूड है, दमसा उपेतो इज एंडोड विद टेम्परेंस, वेदांत भू इज अकम्प्लिश्ड, उसित ब्रह्मचर्य लीड्स ए लाइफ ऑफ ब्रह्मचर्य, कालेन तम ही हव्य पवेच्छ, to such an appropriate one offering should be made. You Brahmano punya pekho yajeta. If the Brahman wants to get some merits, he should make offering to such a person.
So offerings now.
ये कामे हित्वा अगाहा चरन्ति सुसंयतता तसरम वा उज्जुम कालेन तेसु हव्यम पवेच्छ यो ब्राह्मणो। So yes, last two lines there continuously repeat common over it. किसको देना चाहिए ऑफरिंग? ये कामे हित्वा, जिन्होंने काम छोड़ दिए हैं सारे, अगाहा चरन्ति, एंड गृह छोड़ के those who are houseless, सुसंयतता, जिन्होंने अपने आप को सुसंयत कर लिया है, तसरम और उज्जुम, एंड वो वेरी मूवमेंट इज स्ट्रेट लाइक ए शटल, मतलब सीधी तरह चलते हैं, मतलब स्ट्रेट पाथ दे गो, दे डोंट meander here and there. To such ones appropriate offering should be made. So a Brahmin, if he wants to get married, to such people offering should be made. So we will stop here. ये वीतरागा सुसंहित इंद्रिया, जो वीतराग हैं सुसंहित, जिन्होंने समाहित कर लिया इंद्रियों को, चंदो व राहु गहंत परमुख, जिस तरह के चांद जो है राहु के ग्रिप से बाहर आके चमकता है, काले न तेसु भव्यम पवेच्छ, समय तो उनको मेक ऑफरिंग्स टू सच पीपल। सज्जमाना विचरन्ति लोके सदा सत्ता हित्वा ममायेतन, जो कि इस संसार में wander about in this world without any clinging to anything. सदा सत्ता, जो हमेशा माइंडफुल है, those are always mindful. इत्वा ममायितिनी, जिन्होंने अपने सेल्फ का थॉट जो है सेल्फिशनेस छोड़ दी है, such people you should make offerings. यो कामे हित्वा अभिविचारी, जिन्होंने कामनाएं छोड़ दी हैं, सेंसुअल प्लेजर्स, एंड यो वेदी जाति मरणस्य अंतर, जिन्होंने जाति और मरण का अंत जान लिया है, wander about victorious. To such people you should make offering. And who is such a person? Parinibhuto dharkha vahodva, udkar hodova, sito tathagato arhatya purus. So to such a person who is a tathagata, who knows the end of birth and death, and who is full of the calm of nirvana, just like a calm lake, he is the one who is worthy of offerings. So now he describes about Tathagata, जिसको कहते हैं समो समय ही विस्मय ही दूरे तथागतो होति अनंत पन्यो अनुपलितो इदवाहुरंबा तथागतो अर्हति पूर्वसी. So this Tathagata is worthy of offerings, who is on par with his equals, who are even-minded, जिनके समता है जिनमें, and beyond comparison with those who are lacking the equality, lacking the evenness of mind. Anupalito idavahuramba, who is nothing in this world or in the other world can pollute him. Palit nahi kar sakte. He is the Tathagata, worthy of offerings. Yam hi na maya vasati na mano, yo vit lobho amamo niraso, punya kodho, panunya kodho, abhinnu butto, यो ब्राह्मणों शोकमलम अहासी तथागतो अर्हति पुरुष. उसमें कोई माया नहीं है, कोई डिसीट नहीं है, न मान है, न कंसीट है. यो वीत लोग हो, जिन्होंने सारे डिजायर्स लोग छोड़ दिए हैं. अवम निरासो, लिव्स फ्री फ्रॉम एनी सेल्फिशनेस. पहुन्न कोधो, banished all the kind of anger. अभिनिभूतो, calm down, भगवान का एक्सपीरियंस किया. यो ब्राह्मणों शोकमलम अहासी, जिसने सारे शोक जो है त्याग दिए हैं. ही इज द ब्राह्मण, ही इज द तथागता. निवेशनम यो मनसी अहासी परिग्रहा यस्य न संति केचि अनुपादियानो विदवाहुरंबा तथागतो अर्हन्ति पुरुष. निवेशनम यो मनसी अहोसी, was banished everything, every place where mind can settle down. तो कोई भी चीज में जिसका मन नहीं अटक सकता. परिग्रहा यस्य न संति केचि, for whom there is no grasping left. Yes, anupadiyano is idavahurama, in this world or other world, who wants nothing, who covets nothing. He is the Tathagata, worthy of offerings. Samahito yo uditari obhram ब्रह्मं चलंसी परमाय दिट्ठा क्षीण आसवो अंतिम देहधारी तथागतो अर्हति पुरुष. समाहित है, is composed, uditari ogam, who has crossed over this ocean of existence. Dhammam chanansi paramaya dittha, who knows the Dhamma, the perfection of knowledge. Khina Asava, whose passions or asavas are destroyed. Antim Dehadari, who is wearing his last body. Such is the Tathagata, who is worthy of offerings. Avasava yasya kvachi kharacha vidupita athagata nasanti savedagu sabbadhi vipamuttu Tathagato arhati purnasa. Bhava asava yasya kvachi खराना, कोई भी खरी हर्ष, who has destroyed Halstor, and भव आसव जो है, the existence, भव तन्हा जो है, जो passion for existence is finished, who doesn't speak harsh words. Vidupita athagata nasanti, who is accomplished and in every respect who is liberated. Savedagu is accomplished. Sapadi Vikramukta is liberated in every extent. Such a Tathagata is worthy of offerings. So we'll stop there at this. And then next 2 pages we will study next time.
So there was a question from Sudhakar when we were talking about Brahmanas not seeing monks on head level. That currently Brahmins are shaving the head. So they changed the tradition after the Buddha or Mahavira's time.
maybe. They shave the head only during certain period, no? So जैसे वो करते हैं जब उपनयन होता है, then he is supposed to be temporary sannyasi. बच्चे को जब उपनयन करते हैं ना, उस समय उसको शिक्षा मानते हैं ना. So maybe that custom has come from that. I don't know. But in general, Brahmins don't shave their heads.
ऐसा है क्या सर? ऐसा है क्या?
Hands तो shave करते हैं. Generally, जो ब्राह्मण लोग हैं,
अच्छा अच्छा, वो even from the caste point of view.
caste point of view. Even some sannyasis shave their heads. Just not a kind of necessary ingredient, as in there is a necessary ingredient. Good. So all go Deepak. So I think we will tell friends that today Deepak is going to make a presentation on how, in his opinion, this discussion on Abhidhamma fundamentals can be helpful to meditators. So, okay.
So, in the first slide, I just wanted to go to the slides. Go on with it.
आपने मेरे को नहीं किया सब कुछ नाराज हो गए भूल गए
मैंने बोला भी नहीं था.
Sir, well, I think maybe wanted to get some comments from you, man. भेज दो एक बार.
भेज दो सबको भेज दो He's sending the presentation to you.
Actually, the people on Connect can see.
You can see.
People on Connect can see, especially the people who are joining from. But यहाँ पर जो बैठे हैं जिनको presentation वो मास्क देखे उनके पास नहीं है.
अच्छा अर्पण के नोट से.
So Sudhakar is saying, is this the exam for Deepak or commentary by Deepak?
Is both sequence. Sudhakar, next turn is yours.
And maybe at the end of the presentation we will say, was it the exam or the commentary? This is just definitely does help when we make presentations, you know.
Then you own up things. Then you own up things.
Yes.
They are forced to. I also learn by making presentation.
Especially when you are in this mode of
Discussion
thinking about something that you have to tell somebody else.
Yeah.
Then you already anticipate questions. How will I tell this? What kind of question?
And make sure that you understand.
Yes.
I remember Professor Ghatak's comment.
I know Professor Ghatak, but not his comment.
Comment एक क्लास में वो क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स पढ़ाते थे. एक क्लास में वो यूज्ड टू आस्क स्टूडेंट्स, समझ आया? पहले 10-15 ने कहा नहीं, दूसरी बार पूछा, फिर 5-7 ने कहा नहीं, तीसरी बार पूछा, फिर भी 5-7 रह गए. अब तो मेरे भी समझ में आ गया. अभी तो तुम्हारे समझ में नहीं आया. Became a standing joke. What a great teacher. So same thing is true of us. So we'll next expect Sudhakar, you can get ready. Sure, Deepak's today.
You will argue with you. So one way as we see reality, not about any meditators or non-meditators, it's about us in general, is that we see the reality in this glossary. We conceive objects through our senses and then we take them as real. And hardly we try to penetrate beyond those gross objects which we for example, for presentations, there was the example of car. Now, we say that this is a car, but we never question where is the car, which specific part is the car. And if we break down the car into its subparts, where is the car? And then the realization happens is that car is a concept which is given to the assembly of this whole thing. So, studying Abhidhamma helps us see this alternate reality of breaking down what's happening in these constituents and then sort of understanding these constituents. And most of the time, when we take our body to be granted, we possibly conceive our body as made of organs, or if we have some knowledge of medicine or biology, we may say that there are different hormones playing in the body, there are signals which are coming from the brain. So this is still at the level of physical, and we, as the science has taught us, we see it as a play of atoms and molecules of various compounds giving the role. But the alternate reality, or the reality which comes with Dhamma, is what we say is of experience. And that is that experience we sometimes we react with that experience in our day-to-day life, but we never try to pause and investigate what experiences are arising and what one experience is leading to other experience. So that, in general, understanding of Abhidhamma helps. And so, additionally, in suttas, this experience has been broken down, like the senses have been broken down into like these 5 constituents, and these 5 constituents are further broken down into how seeing happens and how one reacts to that seeing. And so suttas present this, give this information where this reality can be seen in that way. And what Abhidhamma then does is that it collects all that information and presents in a hierarchical structure. And going through that hierarchical structure and then reflecting back on the suttas greatly helps in the understanding of suttas.
So while we are on this topic, when you was mentioning about science telling us that we are an interplay of the organs and the hormones and everything else, what is the science view of how is mind connected with this? Because this mind cannot be located and cannot be directly experienced from any of those things that science talks about, other than our own experience. They try to influence mind indirectly through chemicals and other stuff. But for example, how does a thought, triggers an electric impulse in a neuron? What is science's view on that?
Science knows that this kind of thought will result in activation of this kind of part of the brain. How it is happening is, why it is happening is now nobody's, it's a mystery.
Even science accepts that.
How do we see the mystery? It's a mystery, totally total mystery. After all, if the extent to which science has got is that there is an external outward There's an eye, on eye there's a retina image, but the whole brain is dead, it's all blank, pitch dark. From that retina image, somehow the mysterious process it converts into electrical signals. And then neurons, and there are 100 billion neurons who start firing. What the hell is going on? They start firing in a particular way and they hit upon a particular part of the brain. And somehow, science can only see that. Somehow, the person whose brain is there, that person sees something. So how it is happening is a mystery. So भगवान ने कहा था ना उसमें हेन सुत्ता में consciousness is like magician's trick. So this is accepted. It's really a magician's trick. Nobody knows what's happening. How is it happening? Why is it happening? Nobody knows.
So then how does, for example, say an antidepressant drug work?
Yeah, it operates on that part of the brain.
But then the antidepressant drug also changes how the mindset of thoughts are.
You remember Rupa we had studied? There are Chittaja Rupas. What are the origination of matter? Yes, mind is an origination. So depending on the state of the mind, matter is in. So for example, when a person has a long-standing depression, there are chemical changes in the brain. So those chemical changes are being offset. And therefore the brain's functioning improves.
It's not the other way around.
There are mind-altering substances like these mushrooms and LSD and all. There are also chemicals which create a disturbance in the brain's cognition's abilities. And therefore the person gets an experience of a kind of a hallucination.
So then how does that happen from both sciences point of view and anatomy? So how does that happen? That a chemical in the brain. So it's about mind and the biology and its interplay. It is there's a science's view of that and there's an academic view of that. How does some chemicals can influence the mind part of it?
It's not a mind part of it. It's like you can call it mind. It's a kind of hallucination you get into. The brain is being activated. Certain parts of the brain are being activated, which also get activated when person is in a jhanic experience. So it kind of creates a extrasensory assessment, and it creates a feeling of some super consciousness, something of people can get into that. If you read the Ramdas's account, he mentioned that when they started taking those mushrooms, they used to get fantastic experiences because those parts of the brain were being activated, which would also get, and they would feel bliss of all times. So those are, but then it will finish, and then the chemical will leave its effect. So then, when having experienced it few times and realized the side effect is stronger than that small titillation, is there some way of getting that as extra sense consciousness, some other kind of consciousness which we without this, and that's how the exploration into the meditation and other things began. So when you meditate, for example, the studies mean there are certain parts of the brain which get activated deeply, and certain parts of the brain are associated with happiness. And studies have been done that for long-term meditators, those parts of the brain get activated, and therefore the person is generally more peaceful. So this kind of studies have been done. So the parts of the brain which are associated with various experiences have been identified. And since they can produce chemical effects, those chemicals ingestion can create a stimulation. It is basically stimulation.
What is the Abhidhamma's point of view of the Rupa getting translated into
I have not seen. So Abhidhamma's statement which I have read till now is Chittaja Rupa, the mind influences Rupa.
Right.
And the Rupa influencing mind is because of our inability to respond to these. Example, you hear something which is very disturbing. It influences mind, right? Because we are not able to see it equanimously. So to that extent, it is acknowledged. We eat something or we touch something, and it creates a बहुत गर्मी हो और आप उसमें चले जाएं, it disturbs your mind, because fire element is arising and that is creating a disturbance in the equilibrium of the mind. In a peaceful mind, all the elements will be in equilibrium, and when the elements in equilibrium is disturbed, mind will also get disturbed. But if a person is tremendously equanimous, it doesn't matter to him. So it's not automatic. It's because of our inability to be equanimous under those situations. So बुद्धा को एक पूरे वास में खाना ही नहीं मिला, ठीक है कोई बात. We live on metta, we feed on metta like the Avasara Devalok का जो वाणी है ना, we feed on metta. Imagine a person, a normal person saying कि पूरा वास खाना नहीं मिलेगा, so that we'll have alternate feeding arrangements for the body. Really?
वो पेन एंड सफरिंग वाली बात है ना, हम लोग एक बार डिस्कस भी कर रहे हैं.
Because we are not able to handle it equanimously, then that creates disturbance. So mind gets disturbed.
सर अगर खाना नहीं मिल रहा तो पेट से
वासना
नहीं रहता.
सॉरी
सबको अगर नहीं मिलता है मतलब हाउस होल्डर नहीं देते तो वो खुद से पेट का नहीं ला सकते.
नहीं खाते हैं वो तो, that is a part of the monastic discipline that you will not grow your own food, you will not.
लेकिन जो naturally अगर
It has to be offered. That's what the Vinaya says it very clearly. See, which is why the Vinaya was made in a way that monks cannot divorce themselves from society. So monks can't at all. They don't even cut their own food. Even the food has to be cut and offered.
Somebody else cuts it for them.
हाँ, जो वे लोग होते हैं, they have to cut it and offer it.
और किसी ने अगर ऐसे ही दे दी ऑफर कर दिया
They not consume.
then
Yeah, just take the. So, and there are many cases even now where for several days a monk may not eat at all if it has not been offered often. Which is the anxiety, if you remember, that Ajahn Sumedho had when he was told to go to India. कैसे हम करेंगे, how are we going to do it?
वहाँ ऑफर तो कोई करने वाला होगा नहीं.
Then he discovered कि actually वहाँ भी हो गया.
कैसे हो गया? I don't. Because the people, at least the people who invited him.
In one of the discourses, he mentions to his monks in their UK. I don't think it is Buddha's Parni. Just see the.
It is true, Rajesh. If you read actually what happened, the circumstances continue to collude to how did he meet that one jogger who donated this whole Amravati land? कहाँ मिल गया था?
नहीं वो उसने एकदम कैसे डोनेट कर दिया? I can't say. It's unfathomable.
How does it happen in our life that I happen to encounter you guys?
So वो सबसे बड़ी mystery है. ये अर्पण आपको लगता है ना, हमें उससे पहले से लगता है. But this is one of the biggest things जो हम सोचते हैं कि how did this happen?
ये सारा डिटेल्स किसी बुक में नहीं होगा, इसमें
राज सुमंदो वाला उनकी टॉक्स में है.
कोई स्पेसिफिक
उनकी एक्चुअली बहुत सारी टॉक्स हैं. VRI धम्मा पे हैं. नहीं VRI धम्मा.
VRI
क्या है वो?
धर्मा
सीड.
seed.
ऐसी
Dharma seed. SEED.
SEED. उसमें उनकी सारी ऑडियो टॉक्स, ऑडियो रिकॉर्डिंग
हैं
सारी
और भी जगह हैं, कई जगह बुद्धिस्ट पब्लिकेशन सोसाइटी है, रिचर्ड बुद्धिस्ट वाले तो कई सारा है, पर धर्मा सीट में बहुत है।
बहुत है।
YouTube का तो मैंने सुना है बट आई नेवर
यूट्यूब पे भी है,
नोटिस।
अभयगिरी मोनेस्ट्री की जो वेबसाइट है उस पर भी है।
बट धर्मा सीट में ना अच्छी कलेक्शन है।
अभयगिरी में अलग है,
अच्छा, अलग कलेक्शन है।
तो उन्होंने अभयगिरी में जाके रिट्रीट्स किया।
The question from Sudhakar is that when a person is in coma, only the bhavang operates all the time.
Yes.
Sudhakar, yes, the answer is yes to your question. Okay. So, as I mentioned that Abhidhamma is presenting the alternate reality, and this alternate reality is essentially based on the experience of what's happening in the present moment. And in sutras also, this experience has been broken down into Nam and Roop. Okay, Nam being the experience at the mental level, Rupa being the experience at the level of body, of the physical level.
So how does नाम become mental? रूप तो अभी भी उसी connotation में use होता है. नाम is like
that
is a
nomenclature,
concept.
that is just a nomenclature which is made popular in sutras. Because Vijnanapachya Nam Rupa. So the very fact that Vijnanapachya Nam Rupa means Nam does not include Vijnana. So it includes other factors. So it includes other khandas. But it also includes other khandas other than those. So there are other mental factors that are also included. So therefore Abhidhamma avoids the trying to use such nomenclatures which are not very precise.
बोलते हैं कौन मुझे
Factors
नहीं मिल
and
पाते.
So Silesh had the follow-up question, what is Bhavanga?
we'll discuss it later. Sudhakar preempted this. I didn't want to say not reply the question. Our next presentation on my side will be on that cognition, to understand what happens during cognition in more detail. We have understood cognition in a limited sense. There is I, there is an object, and I consciousness arises. But there are much greater details of it. So there, the question arises. Briefly put, whatever we have learned till now in suttas is that consciousness arises based on external object and organ interaction. So the question naturally arose, in deep sleep what is happening? There is no interaction. So is there no consciousness? So the answer was no, there is a consciousness which is Bhavanga Chitta. That's how Bhavanga comes. So this is the brief response.
उस भगवान चित्त का फायदा नहीं हुआ है.
फायदा क्या होगा?
ये तो भगवान चित्त को नाम दिया.
ये तो नाम ऐसे दिया भगवान का मतलब उस सेंस में नहीं, जैसे वेंकट जी कहते हैं भगवान दिस. भगवान इज सीन एज ए सीट ऑफ थॉट्स. बस इतना ही है, कुछ नहीं. भगवान चित्त
थॉट्स नहीं होते.
हाँ, मुझे बट चित्त तो राइज होता रहता है, बट इट सीज, वी विल डिस्कस इट सीज द ऑब्जेक्ट्स ऑफ लास्ट लाइफ. वो कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, आगे डिस्कस करते हैं.
जिस समय चित्त उठता रहता है, चित्त जो है उस समय क्या मतलब बनता है, संस्कार को बनता है या नहीं बनता है?
डीप स्लीप में नहीं, ड्रीम में बनता है.
ड्रीम में बनता है.
ड्रीम में तो
experience the world.
Experiencing the world.
ड्रीम में भी
मनोविज्ञान धातु, मनोविज्ञान धातु
जैसे
चलती है.
दिमाग में उसको भी ड्रीम में कई बार आ जाता है.
उसको बाद में डिस्कस करना.
So, but at very basic level, we can say that Bhavanga is that limited consciousness which operates when nothing else is operating.
Yeah, but it has a very profound impact. So we need to
There's a question from Shailesh is that if the bhavanga is becoming, how can it operate in coma?
The person is, or as long as the person is alive and there is a Bhavanga Chitta operating. There's no way. Chitta stream cannot close as long as person is alive. Chitta stream can close only in experience of Nibbana or final release. Sankhara Pachya Vijnanam, as long as Sankhara is there, Vijnana will arise. Whether we are in this state or that state, doesn't matter. Whether we will be able to perceive it is a different matter. That depends on the state of the organism. Brain में कुछ problem हो गई, you are not able to perceive, so you are in a coma.
I mean, this sense of consciousness will arise, whether you are able to perceive consciousness or not is.
Whether that consciousness is able to come to the waking state. Whether that consciousness is able to come up to the waking state. So it is it's a lot complicated. Get into then whole
ये
discussion.
भावना का original criminal ये है राजेश. We started it.
No, we didn't.
Yes.
वो नहीं सबसे पहले से शुरू किया था. मैं recording सुनता हूँ.
Today
Shailesh took that.
Sudhakar started. Chal.
Okay, so that is also we will wait.
Wait, because वो थोड़ा उसमें there is a serious question in my mind also which nobody has been able to respond. So I am waiting for that. I wrote to a German teacher who teaches the Abhidhamma, disciple of a Burmese master. And I have written to Bhikkhu Bodhi also, so I am waiting for their response. Things will hopefully get clear. Otherwise also, this is a question now. There's some mystery about it. That's why I wanted to get into clarity. Yes, Deepak, continue.
So, so apart from breaking down the current experience in Nam and Rupa, the Dhammas arise and fall at very fast rate. They are not static and change so rapidly. So possibly a deep understanding of this changingness, what is arising or what is falling away, it can help us in further understanding of possibly anicca, anatta. So there are two important constituents in Dhamma study are Chitta and Chestika. And the example which given here is that king is like the Chitta, the consciousness, but the king doesn't come alone, he comes with all his complete attendants. And those attendants are what are referred to as Chestika. And the reference for Chitta and Chestika here is that Chitta, as we say, the consciousness, is arising and passing.
गीता अभी मत निकाल करता
Sorry, Prabhu.
So the consciousness is arising and changing at every moment, and with this consciousness, different Chestikas arising. One of the main thing to understand is that sometimes at high level we can be aware of our consciousness, whether it's rooted in wholesome or rooted in unwholesome. But in other times, even if we are not able to differentiate our consciousness, understanding about these Chetikas can help us try to see what's happening in the present moment. And So, so together, Chittas and Chestikas are trying to, at a starting level, refer to one of them can help us see what's happening in the current moment. So, in many parts of the suttas, this 5 khandas reference comes. So, these 5 khandas can be explained in terms of this chittas and consciousness. And the first khanda, the root khanda, is taken separately as the 4 great elements: Prithvi Dhatu, Agni Dhatu, Vayu Dhatu, and water will Apo Dhatu. So that is a one khanda, and the rest, all the 4, the 3 khandas form the mental factors: the Vedana khanda, the Sanya khanda, and Sankhara khanda. And the last khanda, Vijnana khanda, forms the chitta. So this understanding of Dhamma eventually helps in understanding of these 5 khandas, whose references come in suttas. So again, in terms of experience, the consciousness which we see as we cognize an object, we receive an object, we analyze an object, and we receive. So we see this as something continuous happening. Every moment we see ourselves either seeing or listening or reacting to sense doors. But Abhidhamma breaks this consciousness, which seems to be continuous, into individual mind moments. So, and when we study these mind moments, we see that these mind moments arise, they perform some function, and then they fall away. And when one mind moment falls away, it leads to the next mind moment. The next mind moment is somehow, has a blend of, takes a resultant effect of the previous mind moment.
So it is interesting, हम लोग इंजीनियर है ना, तो इंजीनियर ऐसे सोचते हैं ना, किसी ने कहा कि ये भाई कॉन्शियसनेस अगर उठती बैठती है तो ये कंटिन्यूस क्यों लगती है. उन्होंने क्या किया, एक डायग्राम बनाया, ये फ्रीक्वेंसी के साथ वेव का डायग्राम बनाया. एज द फ्रीक्वेंसी इंक्रीजेस the things will move closer and closer and closer, and then eventually it will look like a strip. उसमें जैसे यहाँ हो रहा है ना, वैसे यहाँ पे तो फ्रीक्वेंसी कितनी बढ़ा लोगे, 1000 कर लोगे, वहाँ पे तो मिलियंस है, तो तुम्हें कहाँ पता चलेगा क्या हो रहा है. So that's how they put down the engineering. यहाँ भी काम आएगी लोगों के. They make a diagram, rising, passing, फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ाते जाओ तो वो तो एकदम जस्ट सट जाएगी. उसमें टाइम पीरियड कितना दिखाओगे, ये तो स्केल को तुम माइक्रो सेकंड में भी कर दोगे तब भी वो उसके साथ जुड़ा रहेगा. Very interesting way of looking at how the arising, passing away we are not able to detect.
Okay, so so one of the things which everybody in general struggles, or everybody carries with himself, is his latest tendencies or past karma. And most of the time, under ignorance, we are sort of carrying this burden of this past karmas and habitually responding to those our latent tendencies. Some can have some latent tendencies of getting angry, or some can have the these tendencies of this ill will. And so most of the time this keep coming to the surface and one reacts to that. And this study of Abhidharma shows you all these basic characteristics which can be present in one's mind. One, for example, we studied that one's chitta can be low mool chitta, one can be dosh mool chitta, and so the more we study this Abhidharma, understand these various categories and use these categories to do one's investigation, so that shows the door of the Kushalupaya and break these tendencies. And eventually this investigation can break the illusion of the self also. So I've put down this conclusion between free will and karma. I don't know whether I grasped it correctly or not.
विवेक, अब ये डिस्कशन लंबी होने वाली है.
दोनों यार साथ होते हैं. You are doing this.
So I think this concept of free will versus karma can be taken as one with operating with ignorance versus one operating with sort of knowledge or some insight. And the free will I am sort of equating with ignorance in the terms that because this consciousness arises and ceases so rapidly, it gives us the sense of that we are in control, we are able to see and we are able to decide what we want to see or whether we want to move our hands. But it can also happen is that after we have taken a decision, we get this illusion that we have done that. But so again, if we disregard free will, it doesn't mean that everything is just happening on its own and there is no escape out of it. This then the law of karma becomes the escape in the sense that we can cultivate Shila, try to cultivate wholesome states in our mind, and these wholesome states can eventually, the law of karma will take effect and will multiply and will change the course. So that's the distinction I have between free will and law of karma.
Who cultivates?
So, see, I think if one has this latent tendencies towards this consciousness which is wholesome, and those latent tendencies itself can feed on and produce this effect of karma. That's the thing. Again, study of Abhidharma and then using that in realizing what's happening. One can, the very basic thing one can try to see is that what kind of mental state one has, whether the mental state is wholesome or whether the mental state is unwholesome. And then whether it's wholesome or unwholesome, one can break down these wholesome or unwholesome states and see what's arising and what's happening at the present moment. And And again, once one has some understanding of what's arising in the present moment and what unwholesome states are, some mental factors are there, one can try to change his meditation, which can bring about the change in eventually this unwholesome mental state. So, in terms of feeling, this uh, mental feeling can so so for the feelings, a distinction has to be made in the sense that there is this we can divide this feeling into three categories: pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, or neutral feeling. And then, based on our tendency of the consciousness rooted in attachment, lobha, or tendency of consciousness rooted in aversion or delusion, these specific kind of feelings arise. With attachment or lobha, this pleasant feeling arise. Possibly when one enjoys these sense pleasures, these very pleasant feelings can arise during that time. So, and sort of it, it can happen in meditation also, is that when some body calms, and the mind-body complex calms down in the meditation, one gets feeling, and with attachment, we sort of want to hold that in. So it can be either way. And similarly, in aversion routine, when we have aversion towards not wanting something, these unpleasant feelings arise. And when there is this delusion, the doubt or restlessness in the mind, these neutral feelings arise.
Yes, within my neutral feeling has its own category. So you were mentioning that Abhidhamma just talks about pleasant and unpleasant. It talks about
It
neutral.
says, it doesn't talk about all the three, but it says that with respect to the body, bodily feelings can be either pleasant or unpleasant.
Body feeling cannot be neutral.
When we see something, it's a neutral feeling, just seeing. But when we respond to that with craving, aversion, then feelings can be pleasant and unpleasant. But bodily feelings cannot be neutral. Because what they say is because bodily touch, asapachya vedana, so bodily touch is gross. Eye touch is subtle, and we can understand that. The touch of other senses is subtler than that of body. The actual touch. So when we say कि neutral feeling है, I mean you can, if we wait for some time, we can easily figure out कि हम कह रहे हैं neutral अच्छी नहीं लग रही है या बहुत अच्छी लग रही है. हमने पढ़ा सुना हुआ है ना, पढ़ा हुआ है कि उसके प्रति राग नहीं जागना चाहिए, तो उसको neutral मान रहे हैं. माइंड को हमने ऐसा ट्विस्ट कर रखा है कि वो उसको neutral समझ रहा है. So you can figure it out by more careful observation.
So essentially, we can use these feelings as a mode of investigation and see that what kind of lobha is rooted in our mind, or what kind of dosha is rooted in our mind, and that can become the mode of investigation. And again, when the mind is filled with attachment, one can see that the attachments can be of many grades. One can be this simple attachment, like just enjoying a coffee, or one can have this deep passion or desire to hold on to things, or a desire to have specific, like, for example, some people like music, so that attachment can become so strong that you want to keep listening to particular kind of music. So, so again, the thing is that this attachment also, one can try to break it down into the how strong its hold is, and again, it's with aversion. Uh, So, Mr. Rajendra ji is saying that what would be the reaction if something wrong is happening and I am not reacting either for or against? Would it be termed as neutral feeling?
Say there is something which is creating aversion, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, वहाँ पे गड़बड़ हो रही है, गलत काम हो रहा है. So are we supposed to just relax and say, ठीक है, it's a neutral feeling, and then we don't react to it or react to it? This is the difference between action and reaction. So that is, I think, very important. When there is a situation which we, in our wisdom, feel is something which should not be happening, ideally, if a person is a good meditator, you just observe it, see that it is an unpleasant feeling. Obviously, it will be unpleasant feeling because my perception is that this should not be happening. So there will be unpleasant feeling, but not react to it. Because if you react to it, then you get angry and upset, and then you take some action that may be correct or may be wrong also. But if we can just observe that feeling is unpleasant, let the mind calm down for a few seconds, then our wisdom will operate and decide how do we respond to the situation, rather than anger operating and deciding how to respond. So we don't want to create artificial world in which we live. Of course, we also need to be careful that my perception may be wrong. Perception being perception can be wrong. So, but whatever is my current perception, I'll work accordingly.
You don't have any other option. No?
Yeah.
All you have is your perception and your correct wisdom.
Why I always say it is that otherwise people get fixated. यही ठीक, ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. You know, some things are quite obvious. कोई शील तोड़ रहा है, कोई किसी को hurt कर रहा है, it's quite obvious. Somebody is destroying public property, somebody is harming, it's quite obvious. There is no issue of perception. But in interpersonal relationship, no problem हो जाती है. Perception is a big issue. So if you're not careful about perception, then there will be serious problems.
अगर दो जने लड़ रहे हैं आपस में और आप उनको देखते रहो,
ठीक है, कोशिश तो यही करनी चाहिए कि
देख रहे हैं, अगर वो लड़ते मरते इतना झगड़ा करें, तो आप देखते रहो, we just
देखने का भी काम, एक्शन समझिए नहीं. फीलिंग कोई लड़ रहा है तो फीलिंग तो अनप्लेजेंट ही होगी ना. अनलेस आई एम ए टेररिस्ट, आई विल हैव अनप्लेजेंट फीलिंग. टेररिस्ट में हैव अ गुड फीलिंग, no matter ends. So because there is unpleasant feeling, I observe, and then internally, if I am calm, thought will arise in me. How do I respond to the situation?
Versus react, which is the reaction that you are talking about. कि लड़ रहा है सारे को आरक्षण.
घटा दो.
The reaction and response, that's different.
ऐसा नहीं कि हम काम नहीं करना, कोई एक्शन नहीं करना, बट रिएक्शन नहीं करना. एक्शन और रिएक्शन में फर्क है ना. प्रतिक्रिया नहीं करनी, रिएक्टिव रियल है, सोच समझ के।
इसके प्रति हमें क्या करना चाहिए? प्रतिक्रिया
समता, समता
नहीं, बोलते
फंडामेंटल।
रहेंगे, हम समता में बैठे हैं।
बैठे क्यों रहे हैं? समता में एक्शन
समता से एक्शन करें।
समता में बैठे क्यों रहेंगे? समता का मतलब ये थोड़ा ना कि हम बैठे हुए हैं, अभी थोड़ा खाइए, वही फर्क है। यू नॉट डिल्यूडेड, डिल्यूजन में नहीं है, समता में। डिल्यूजन में भी वही परिस्थिति हो जाती है, बट समता में है। समता में है तो रिस्पॉन्ड विद आवर विजडम, जो भी हमारी करंट विजडम है वो रिस्पॉन्ड।
I think in practice it has become actually
Yeah, it's quite obvious. It's not a big deal. It becomes quite clear. But some problem happens if हमारी समता नहीं रहता है, तो वो we react fast. Reaction is fast, and then we regret it, or then we justify it, but depending on what is the situation. That is a real issue. And if we are really established in impermanence and in anatta, especially in anatta, even if you react, you can then set the matter right. कल से हो, वो कहना इतना भारी पड़ता है ना। So anatta is the key. You are really established it in, everything else doesn't matter. You can immediately respond and correct the response. गलत हो गया यार response, मैंने जोर से बोल दिया, माफी, but I'm finished. There's no ego to, no self-image to maintain. If I'm clear about it.
What I've observed now is that with time, actually, it's the subtler stimulations that are more difficult to now catch. The anger and the grosser ones are now more or less perceptible.
Actually, with gross ones, I was sharing earlier also that it is much easier for sati to arise with the gross ones. And actually, I have found that they arise automatically. And I was wondering last time I was asking why sati arises only with these negative ones. आपको why do you become aware from your lost state to the aware state?
Impact is very strong because impact इतना strong होता है उसका तो भगवान के चित्र को तोड़ के रख देगा उसमें।
जो मतलब इसे जरा नेगेटिव पर एकदम हो जाता है, लेकिन जो नेगेटिव नहीं होती है, मतलब जो एकदम सूक्ष्म होती है, उसमें मतलब आपको क्यों नहीं आता?
हाँ, तो प्रैक्टिस की बात है
या वो अच्छी लगती है?
हाँ, अच्छी
मतलब ये मुझे लगता है कि वो अच्छी लगती है, इसलिए हम उनको इतना महत्व नहीं देते।
तो कह रहे हैं ना, एक सन्यासी के पास जाते थे, एक शायद भिक्षु ने कहा था कि मेरे पास जैन मास्टर ने कहा था किसी ने कि दो प्रश्न पूछने आते थे नाना प्रकार के, तो ये मार आप सब लोग जो गुस्सा है उसको हटाने की बात जरूर करते हो, राग को हटाने की बात क्या करो, तो वही पूछ लिया करो। जो प्रिय लगता है, राग जागता है, उसका कोई सवाल नहीं पूछता कि राग जागता है वो कैसे हटे। द्वेष जागता है वही पूछता है क्योंकि राग तो अच्छा लगता है, उसको हटा के क्या करना है। ये सटल चीज है ना, कंपैरेटिवली इवन सटलर इज दैट दोनों ही इम्पर्सनल नेचर के देखे जाएं।
I see it very differently though. He was speaking about negative whatever. Isn't there a difference between negative and sukshma and between positive and gross? So I see it in the following. In my experience is the following, that now with practice and with time, one is able to catch both the negative and the positive at the grosser negative and the positive ones. The difficulty is with the subtler negative and the positive ones.
That is true.
So
But among the grosser also, it is
easier to capture the
negative ones. You get reminded a lot more often in your negative ones than your
suffering. Suffering is a key teacher. That is the key thing. Because positive ones को पकड़ पाना तो और subtle को तो बहुत ही मुश्किल है. Even gross positive you catch them much later in comparison to the unpleasant.
पहले नेगेटिव को हटेगा फिर पॉजिटिव पे जाएंगे।
एक वो भी है पर्सपेक्टिव, एक पर्सपेक्टिव ये है कि अपने को हटा दो तो खत्म हो जाएगी, तो फिर वो पॉजिटिव है कि नेगेटिव है कि क्या है.
See, when after you introduce the hatha concept, that's how I have found it much easier to catch the positive ones.
It depends on the past samsara. It's basically about. It's the quality of latent tendencies which will determine what you will be able to handle and respond to quickly. If one has fallen in positive traps many often, then you become mindful of that.
बिल्कुल सही कह रहा है, बिल्कुल सही कह रहा है.
Good, so we'll stop for today. Then we can complete the next time. Like, oh, any questions? So Sudhakar will be preparing for next week. Of course, Deepak will be there, and the week after we'll request Sudhakar to. Is it okay, Sudhakar?
She's starting.
So Dhakkar is saying that I'll come up with more doubts.
That's very good.
That's very good actually.
We'll be forced to reflect. So we'd like you, Sudhakar, to make a presentation of
Of your doubts, maybe?
name of whatever is your takeaway from our discussions till now. That would be very good. Because Sudhakar is a very senior meditator, so he can give a good impression.
जो बन जाएगी.
आपको ग्रीन बनवा
वो तो permanent.
दो मेन बाकी
Rajendra ji also is saying that same way. He'll come up with more questions.
Good, very good.
Shantu.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll close the session for the day unless anybody has any other questions. Yeah, take care. Bye.